I'm about to show you something incredible. Today, we're doing emergency plant rescue surgery on houseplants that most people would have thrown in the trash. As a lifetime landscaper, I've done my share of dumpster diving to save some beauties. Plants with brown tips, root rot, and leggy vines that are basically screaming for help. But here's the thing. Every single one of these can be saved, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in your own home. By the end, you'll know my propagation tricks that turns dying plants into thriving ones, and no old wives' tales rooting hormones. So hit that like button, subscribe for more plant rescues, and let's bring these babies back to life. I absolutely love my little sanctuary over here at the thingsgreen.com botanical gardens. I'm able to just breathe all this wonderful, cool air that these plants are giving off. And in fact, I have some plants over here that were actually rescued from indoors. And indoor plants, you have to take care of them. They have special needs. They have special things that we have to remember to take care of. And that is their leaves, their fertilizing, the watering. Everything that you do with an outdoor plant, you have to do with an indoor plant, except you have to remember that you're creating an atmosphere indoors. And when you're doing that, that has its challenges. Okay, so what are we gonna do first? I don't even know where to start. Okay, let's start with this one. This right here is called a prayer plant, and it's a beautiful plant. There's a lot of different varieties of these. They have smaller leaves and bigger leaves and whatever, but you can tell there's a couple of things going on over here. The first and foremost, normally when we see any kind of leaf dieback from the tip down like this, when you're going from here to here, a lot of times it isn't that prevalent. It could be just a little bit of a tip burn. I don't know if we're going to see it in any of these other plants, but what we're going to do is we're going to address that, and that means that we have too much salt in our water. So therefore, when we water the plant, we want to take and make sure that it just waters all the way through, percolates through. Sometimes that does mean taking your plants outdoors in the patio someplace, watering it, allow it to do that flushing of it, and then you can take and bring it back inside, or make sure you have a nice saucer. Now, a lot of these plants, they come with their own kind of decorative containers, and that's what this is doing right here. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this is what we have. So we have a potted plant that's within a potted plant. This has a plastic inside, and that's okay, but can you see the moisture that's going on in here? Look how that soil is. And I think is a technical term. So take that out, but it's pretty dry. It's not that bad. So we have a couple things happening here. We have ourselves these leaves. These leaves need to be cut out. This one over here, this whole plant is a little bit on the mushy-ish side. So we're going to take and prune out this stuff. So we're going to take and prune it out. Just, okay, take that stuff out. That's for the compost pile. Sometimes it'll pull out easy. We have some of these little shales. We've got the dog in the back over there. I don't know if you can hear him or not. He's helping us out. But that just lets you know that we're real over here. Okay, so we're going to take and cut all of these things right here. Now, all this dead stuff actually takes away from the plant. Not only aesthetically, but it also takes away, because what ends up happening is that these things are, the plant is trying to provide energy to these dead plants here. It's saying, hey, wait a minute, there's something that's going on. I thought I brought a pair of scissors in here. You can use scissors. And I was hoping to use scissors. Did I bring them? I don't see them. Oh well. We're gonna do what we have on hand. Okay, so already this is starting to look good. Here's a young leaf in the back. It's horrible. Take it out. See how bad that was? Now, sometimes when we end up doing this, it's gonna look really barren. So I don't want you to think that you're doing anything wrong, because you're not. You're just taking and straightening it up. So if we have a leaf that's like this, and look how big it is, we can take and we can we can prune this stuff off right here. See this? Just kind of follow the contour of the leaf. Now what's going to happen is that this is going to kind of brown out a little bit. You didn't do anything wrong. So yeah, that actually doesn't look too bad. Oh, look at this little one sneaking in. Now you have a choice here. You could either take and prune it out, what do you call it, trim around the leaf, or not. I think what we're going to do here is actually remove this leaf all away and all the way around. We have a couple things here. This is kind of floppy. Let's remove this floppy one. And there you go. This one, this is a strong one, but it's floppy. So we're going to move this floppy one out. So look how beautiful this is starting to look now. And we have just, look at this. I don't know what happened here. This is just a stem. Look at that. That's just a stem that showed up. Who knows? So yeah, this is actually looking pretty good now. So what I would do with this one is I would put it back in its container. I'm not going to do any kind of anything fancy to this. Like, I may have a little bit of a tip burn right here. A little bit, just snip off that little tip burn right there, and that's okay. Give this a nice fish hydrolysate fertilizer, and we're going to be rocking and rolling with this. Okay, so I need a clean workspace. We're going to put this. Let's put this over here. Put this on this side. Oh, by the way, a lot of these plants, you know, they started outdoors. There's no reason why you can't grow them outdoors. Some of them are in patios, but think about this one. Certain plants are actually pretty good when you plant them in the ground. Let me show you one of them. Now this right here is called the golden pothos. Very typical heart-shaped leaf on here. Since I brought it here to the greenhouse, this plant has actually kind of really started to stagger out quite a bit. And there's a reason for it. Number one, this plant probably has been in this pot for at least maybe 2 or 3 years, at least that long. But more so, it has had 0 apical pruning. Now I've seen these things. I mean, they have trailed. I've seen them trail 20 feet before, and they will do that. But that's when you get a little bit of care with them. Now the thing of it is, this particular pothos, this golden pothos, pretty interesting. It actually does like abuse. This is the plant that you see on a lot of people's desks at the office. And what do they do with it? They allow it to be the recipient of coffee grounds and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of this soft stuff. That's first and foremost. You know what? I'm going to look at the root system here. Root system, yeah, smelling kind of okay. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to use a little bit different method. And I'm going to show you how we're going to salvage this, and we're also going to create some more plants out of this. So I've got a pot that is a little bit bigger, twice the width of the container, very good. You need to get them some fresh soil. So as you know, I like to kind of get my own soil mix going over here. And this is the way that I take soil. Now this was from a bag soil, and I brought it over here for a very specific reason, because I like it. Got a bucket, I got a mesh. So what I do is I take my soil and I like to screen it. Now you don't have to do this. I like to do this. Very cathartic, by the way. Super, super cathartic. And the idea of smelling fresh soil, oh. Now this is pretty clean stuff. Look at this, we don't have any big chunks or pieces in here. We've got just little pieces of bark. That might not be bad just to use just as is. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, so let's do this. Let me show you what I'm gonna do here. So here we have this bucket. It's a pot. And can you see what we have on the inside over here? All right, and can you see what we don't have on the bottom? Yeah, there's no holes, there's no drainage holes. So what they've done is that they've used this device that you stick inside of it to lift it off the ground so the roots don't sit on and in any kind of water. So you have to really be careful how you water, which is okay because these don't take a lot of water. But what I'm going to do is that I have this bark right here. I'm going to raise it up a little bit more. I'm going to put this bark on here. Let's see if we can't create some more bark. Yeah. You know, always practice and play with soil mixes. That's what I do. I have all kinds of different soil mixes that I get. I buy, because we have a pretty large place over here, I get soil usually in bulk, big bulk. See, so now we have some more of this. Okay, right there. We need more. I want to cover all that up. And we're gonna go like this. Yes. So I'm digging on this. This is an activity, by the way, that you can do with your kids. I just have it for this bucket here because I do it here in the greenhouse. You could put a big old wheelbarrow, put a big old screen over there. There are screens of different sizes. All right, that's good. I'm digging on that. So what have we done so far? We have taken and we have, even though it's levitated off, it's got a plastic riser in there. I'm taking this bark. This bark is going to raise the soil up a little bit bigger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move this into here. So let's kind of see what we've got here. I'm going to tap. Always want to take it, turn around, tap. Yeah, you know what? It's looking good. Can you see the difference over here in your soil? Look how low it is to the ground. We got to raise our soil up quite a bit. So here I just said wear gloves. I'm not wearing gloves because I like the soil in my fingers. Okay, perfect. This right here is actually marvelous, absolutely marvelous here. So what we're going to do is we're going to center this root ball. It's kind of falling apart, as a matter of fact. We're going to take the soil, we're going to put it around the plant here. Going to get rid of this yucky, dead, goopy stuff. I know we didn't do that yet. It's over here. Got ahead of myself. And you see how this soil is? It's just so much fluffier. It's nicer to work with. Sometimes if you want to, you could do something like this and then put perlite or vermiculite inside of your mix. That's also good. Those are properties that open up the pore space of the soil. And what you'll end up doing is creating so that it could the roots can move through and the soil can move through easier. Oh, I love this. This is going to be beautiful when it starts to flourish again, and it is going to flourish. Okay, so you see how this is starting to straighten up a bit? All right, so now, you're not going to believe what I'm going to do next. I don't even believe I don't know what I'm going to do next. So, this plant, hands down, is very leggy. So when you get a plant that looks like this, that is, the spacing in between the leaves is kind of long, it's called that it's leggy. So look how leggy. It doesn't have to be this way. The spider plant wants to get into the action here. So we have several leggy. So I'm going to say that originally this had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were probably 6 stems in here. Was that originally? Maybe there was 3 and it developed into 6. So now we're going to do, I don't need my gloves on, I thought I was going to use them. Okay, now what we're going to do is this. Oh, I was going to use my gloves to clean up this space. So what we're going to do now is, look how horrible this is. Look at, see? How do we get this to look nice? Well, it's you have to cut it back. So we're going to cut it back way over to here. Yeah, ouch, huh? How do we get stuff growing over here? Well, we're going to take and look at that. That just fell off. We're going to cut this back to right here. And this right here is going, there's nothing here. Look at this. absolutely nothing here. I like to leave a leaf on because then you can have photosynthesis even though this is an indoor plant. Like I said, I'm going to strengthen it up in here. I mean, look at all my plants. They're just gorgeous in the greenhouse. So we're going to shorten this up tremendously. This one right here, this one right here, we have a leaf right here, 2 leaves right here. Let's leave the 2 leaves. And again, the energy is coming through. It's going to go, whoa, wait a minute, what happened? It's only one right there. I guess I could technically, look at this, because there was one tiny leaf right here, we'll sacrifice that. And then this one, look at, this was on there. And look at how leggy looking it is. So this one, let's go up here. Whew. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this. Look at this. We cut it down almost to nothing. We will water this, and before you know it, it'll take off. It's gonna take about 3 months before this thing to come back. So it's not like it's gonna be right away. Okay, now we have a little issue here. Can you tell what the issue is? The issue is that we have a bunch of debris here. What are we gonna do with debris? Oh, I know. I keep on wanting to put my gloves on. This is what we're gonna do. Pothos grow very quickly. They grow very quickly. And unlike many plants, like for instance, I don't know if you can see these or not. Let me get them. Don't go anywhere. I don't think you're able to see. All right. Unlike these plants right here, these are century plants. And we did a TV show on those. I don't know if you remember or not. But unlike those, where we took them and we dipped them in rooting hormone, which we probably should have had some rooting hormone over here, dip them in the rooting hormone, then what we would do is just put them in some kind of soil medium and watch them grow. Well, look at, we're going to be taking care of this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forget all about the rooting. Look at, I got a node right here. That's all I got to do. Watch this. Poke my finger in there, it'd be easier. And we're going to create another plant. Is this cool or what? This is going to grow. So here we have a couple of leaves. Let's pull or cut this leaf off right here. And then we'll just poke this in here, go like this. And this should grow. It really should grow. It'll take off, watch. You're gonna have some that'll, maybe have an acute state of rigor mortis. That happens with gardening. If I used rooting hormone, you up your chance, but I'm gonna be following up with watering with the fish hydrolysate. So we're gonna take this, look at this, we're gonna do this little itty bitty tiny plant. This is so cute. Look at that, isn't that just darling? That's cute, that's cute. Look how tiny that is. Okay, so let's get one of these out. And we're gonna cut this up right here. See, look at, I don't know if you could tell or not, but there's actually a node right here. That's where it's gonna start to grow roots out. So all I'm gonna do is leave one leaf. If I cut this back, one leaf. I'll take this, I'll put this in there like that. That will grow. Not all plants do this, but these plants certainly do. So now I've got a decorative container that I could put other plants in. Maybe later on I'll do some more pothos or something. All right, dieffenbachia. The dieffenbachia, known to be a poisonous plant. So what does it do? Dieffenbachia is also called the dumb king. And so if you've got dogs and cats and little kids, you got to keep this out of their way. Oh, this is just mushy. Mush, mush, mushy. Look at that. It rotted out. It just rotted out. Came out. Look at this, is so soft. Didn't know this was happening. Oh my. Look at this. This is just, oh, not good. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take it back to a hard point. Just like this. We're going to stick this back in the container. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? You stay right there. I'm going to be right back because I definitely need that rooting hormone. Okay, found it pretty quickly because I use it too often. All right, so now we have this dieffenbachia actually rotted out, but we have a couple of very nice, beautiful leaves over here. You know, because this rotted out, I'm gonna get rid of the whole thing. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna pull this out. Oh, look at that, one root. That's it. That tells me that this thing is just spoiled beyond belief. I'm not even gonna use that. I'm gonna use a different container. Oh man, had no idea that was happening. Let's see, do I have enough soil in here? Might have to make some more. So we're gonna put this in here. Nope, gotta make some more. Oh, this is really, really tough. Didn't see that coming. That's why we gotta take care of this stuff. So these were house plants, office plants. I'm not too sure. I forget where we got them. And I could just tell they weren't doing good, so I asked if I can take and clean them up. So they said, yeah, go ahead and take them. Boy, they're going to be surprised when they see this show. Make some more of this. I just need a little bit. I don't need to do a whole lot. So we don't have to panic when we see stuff like this. I'm very fortunate that we do have enough on there. I mean, we have the leaves. We didn't have the leaves. Sticking it in the ground and doing that, I don't think that was going to work well. I'm surprised it didn't rot out sooner and just die. I guess you know what we did? We saved it early enough. Okay, so let's do this. Put this away. Now we have to look at what we have here. So this right here, look at it, it's beautiful. It was growing, it was living based on this one root. This right here is still hard. So I got too much soil. I'm gonna do something pretty radical here. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. I'm gonna put that down. All right. So squash this really well. I'm gonna put rooting hormone on here. That's what I'm gonna do. Put some rooting hormone on here. A little bit goes a long way. This stuff is really expensive, by the way. Do not be fooled by anybody online that says you could use cinnamon for this. Cinnamon is not rooting hormone. It will not fight off disease for your plants. It doesn't do that, sorry. And if you want to take that up, you can call me on my radio show and we'll talk about that. There's no scientific, absolutely zero scientific stuff going on. Support that shows that. Okay, so I was very careful. I had that root going out in that direction and I put soil underneath it, which was good. Now I had another piece someplace, didn't I? So this is the one that was really rotted out. I'm actually going to cut this shorter. Now where all these nodes are at, that's where you're going to find roots that'll come out. Look at this. Oh, bathe it, man. I love it. Stick that inside like this. You can go right up against it. It's not going to hurt it whatsoever. In fact, that's like the mama and the baby. That's kind of cute. All right. Well, I guess we've done enough here in the greenhouse today. It's not as dynamic as going out on a field trip or a road trip like we do sometimes, but it's maintenance that needs to happen. It's stuff that has to happen for the benefit of our plants. And with that, make sure you come on down and check out our website, and don't forget you can give me a telephone call 24/7. Leave your name and telephone number and we will call you back. I've got some more chores to do over here.